Well, let me start by saying I've got a beautiful wife, Shannon, who been married for 24 years. Known her since elementary school, so the only thing I have against her is she shouldn't have been hanging out with me when she started hanging out with me, you know, but I got a Proverbs 31 wife. And then I got 6 kids, 5 boys and a little girl. And so definitely don't have everything figured out, but love the Lord, love my kids, and want to fight for the hearts of my kids. And you can imagine having 6 kids and a wife, there's a lot of responsibility at home, and I made a decision to make a big move. The move was not only to a different job, but it was different city, different state, really kind of doing some different things. And it was a big move for our family because we were very settled. We honestly, everything was pretty good. A lot of people make moves because everything is bad. And it was really kind of the opposite of that. Even to the point I felt like, you know, God was in it to the point that I was very open with people. God's calling me to do this, I'm doing this. And honestly, even to the point I was so convicted that I even took a pay cut and going to do this. I know a lot of people do that hop thing, go a little more. You know, mine was even a little bit of the opposite of that. So there was a lot of conviction of this is my next step. And man, I've met a lot of men who've had a similar experience since then, but all I can say is packed up my wife, packed up my children, moved, and almost immediately everything went sideways with it from the beginning. And I got hit with something that I'd never imagined in a million years I would be hit with. I felt like I had let everyone down. Starting with myself. I never questioned God in the midst of it. I never put blame on Him for it. But honestly, I felt embarrassed. I had told everybody, I know this is God's will. I'm moving in this direction from on and on and on. And I was just blindsided by it. I felt, honestly, like a loser. I got to a point where all I knew to do was just walk out in the middle of this field. And I just simply sat down and prayed to God and said, God, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. Here I am. And it was in those moments of sitting still before God that in my spirit, I heard a very simple verse. It just said, though a just man falls 7 times, he rises again. Rise up. Man, all I can say is for anybody who's ever experienced being at the bottom of the pit, I felt like I had gone through months and months of kind of falling, and it was like there was the bottom of it. It was God. God was right at the bottom of the pit. And it was in that moment He became the lifter of my head, and I came straight home. Because in that moment, it's like I sensed there was a future, like God's got more for me. There's more to this story. And so I go straight home to my wife, and she says, Kenny Dallas, do you feel like a failure? And I said, I know that I'm a failure. And she said, well, we have 6 kids. Do you think any of our 6 kids are ever gonna fail at anything? A business, a home, a family, anything? And I said, of course. And she just said, show them how to do it. And so, man, all I can say is, at the very bottom of my pit, God met me right there. And in that moment, between hearing God say, rise up, and hearing my wife say, show your children how to fail, like I had a reason, I had a purpose, and I knew God was not done with me. So M46 is part of my showing my children how to fail. This ministry is not a ministry that's built out of tremendous success, but it is honestly one that comes out of failure, in that we realize God is our strength. We realize at the bottom of the pit, God is our source. He is our shield. He is our strength in all of this as we fight for the hearts of our kids. So that verse where Jesus tells Peter, now strengthen the brothers after you return, strengthen the brothers. That's what Operation M46 is. When I was in the bottom of my pit, I don't know if I was ready to be equipped, but I needed to be inspired. I needed to be encouraged. So for some of our guys, that's what they get when they come in. But for other guys, they're in that place where they're ready to go with their kids, and they're just saying, you know, just show me, just tell me. I just need to be equipped. Give me something to do. And so every month our guys leave with a challenge. Here is a principle from God's word. here, we're going to equip you with this. Now go do this with your kid and let the gospel do what the gospel does. Because man, what the gospel does is it draws the heart of the Father towards the children and the heart of the children towards the Father.